He is the co-author of the Zaragoza Open Government Strategy 2012-2015 towards a smart citizenship. Daniel Sarasa, Smart City Program Manager, Zaragoza City Hall, takes the stage here at Webit Festival. Please give him a warm welcome. Welcome.
Thank you, Palmen. Thank you
very
much.
Nice to have you on at Webit stage, and look forward to hear your case studies.
Okay, have any one of you seen the movie Interstellar? Yeah, okay, many people. For those who haven't seen it, can we go intro video, please?
Little late, Coop.
Yeah, we had a flag.
It's an Indian surveillance drone. Solar cells power an entire farm.
What'd you do, Murph?
She didn't do nothing.
Murphy's Law.
You're a well-educated man, Coop, and a trained pilot.
And an engineer.
The world doesn't need any more engineers. We didn't run out of planes and television sets. We ran out of food.
Well, this video is going to be the nail in my coffin because I am myself an engineer. We as societies face enormous challenges in the fields of democracy, of economy, mainly in the fields of environment. And to tackle these challenges, we're going to need lots of different profiles, professions, and types of individuals. But also, we're going to need engineers. I'm going to show you a different approach to technology here, going from the wider picture to very narrow specific projects, because my role in the city is to be able to facilitate that ideas, people, and social capital are connected to the city, and we can get the most of the people that live in Zaragoza, which is fifth largest city in Spain, neck and neck with Sevilla. I'm an urban innovation program manager there, and I'm also co-author of openyourcity.com, where is the place where we write all these ideas. Humans are complex, but in some sense, we are as simple as the smallest bacteria, because we are here to last. And that is why I've selected life expectancy as the indicator that encompasses what cities can do for us. If you see how life expectancy has evolved during evolution, you see this correlation between urbanization and the amount of years that we are living on planet Earth. Life expectancy encompasses war and violence, or peace, if you want to put it that way. It encompasses education, access to health services. In short, it encompasses prosperity. But people don't move to cities just to live longer. They move to cities because they think they can do much more exciting things, that they can have more opportunities. And this is what made my grandparents in the 50s flee from their small village of 300 people into Zaragoza, which was 300,000 people at that time. So basically, when you move to cities, much more things can happen to you, good things and also bad things. So cities are very good for individuals, but are they also good for this global community of people that we are living on the planet? Well, it seems so, because there's a guy called Geoffrey West, which is a data scientist. This guy analyzed vast amounts of data, mainly from American cities. And he found that when you move to a city, or cities that are twice as big, they consume less resources. And this is something that biologists had also found, for example, in nature. Elephants are much more efficient than ants. And this property is called negative volumetry. Now, we've seen that cities are equally valuable for us as individuals, and they're equally valuable for our planet. But can we actually measure the actual value of cities? Well, I'm sorry for the equation, but this equation is really important. This is the equation that drives the digital businesses, the digital economy. It's Metcalfe's law. It's the reason why Google, Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp were free at the beginning, because they wanted to gain critical mass. Because the value of a network goes with the square of its members, right? So in the same way, the wealth of a city is proportional to the square of its population. Now, what happens is that with this increase of wealth that cities are creating, we are at risk of exhausting the planet. And the answer for this paradox is, of course, innovation. The forces of innovation in cities are diverse. Individuals want to make startups to earn money. Cities as a whole, they want to stay competitive in the global market. City halls want to be innovative to improve the quality of life and tackle the impracticalities and bugs of cities like noise, pollution, traffic, etc. And it overall produces what we call the innovation spiral, which is the fact that we are changing from one raw material, from one economy based on one raw material to the other, each time at a much higher pace. So we've been transitioning from an economy based on coal, to oil, to silicon, to lithium, to coltan, and now we're going to an economy based on data. Now, we as city halls, we're facing this innovation battle. We are challenged by highly innovative companies like Google, Airbnb. Let me tell you a bit story. For example, in Zaragoza, we received some funding from the Spanish government, and we decided to develop a project to measure traffic flows in the city. We developed thousands of sensors, many IoT, Internet of Things devices all over the city. When we finished that project, 2 years after, Google had just launched Google Traffic, and everybody was sending in real time their location data to Google, just like that. Now, this is the type of situation that we're facing. The guy from Visa explained it before. Visa is working much better in London than the Oyster card. So this is the type of thing that we're thinking that we need to tackle. And these internet giants, they're doing it very, very good because they can use data, of course. Now, we are trying to use data to make our strategies. And this is the strategy of my city, which considered open data as a strategic pillar upon which we should develop, we should improve our transparency and also improve our economy. But there are also cities that are doing visionary projects around open data. Bristol is one of a kind. They're turning this old planetarium into the data dome, where they're doing fantastic visualizations of data. They're finding public-private partnerships with companies to visualize company results in very creative ways. But if we look at open data, we're really just looking at the tip of the iceberg. Most of the data in this immense universe of data is dark data. It's like the dark matter that moves the universe. Now, how big is this hidden part of the iceberg? Well, according to the European Union, if public institutions could open up all its data, we could mobilize 200 billion euros into the world economy. But if you look at the figures that we could obtain if we can unveil this dark data, we go up to 5 trillion, and this is a study from McKinsey. Now, to understand this figure, think that, for example, the top world car manufacturer is worth in the stock market like 130 billion euro. Now, Facebook is worth the double, and Google is worth the triple. And the only difference is that these two companies have based their business on data, and they know very well how to use data. City halls don't know very well how to use data. We can do a lot better. If you remember from a previous slide that the value of a city is proportional to the square of its population, then the wealth that we can create is proportional in this connected urban world, is proportional to the people and to the ideas that we can connect to the city. So that is why we've developed this idea, because we're engineers, we've developed this idea of an application programming interface, API, a human API to connect these people to the city. And we do co-creating sessions for smart services. We do co-design workshops where technology is not required. So we lower the barrier for citizens to come to our premises and help us design the smart city. And one of the programs, these are very little programs, but I think they're extremely valuable. One of the programs out of this Open Urban Lab was Crowdfunding Zaragoza. Crowdfunding Zaragoza is our second step in the innovation cycle. So after we have the ideas, we have to build the prototypes, and we have to connect the prototypes to the city, and we have to fund them. And this is a collaborative funding mechanism for smart services. Now, the important thing is not just to have lots of data and lots of technological platform. The important thing is to ask ourselves the right questions. What are the problems? I'm sure that you've heard about hackathons. We've made some few hackathons in our city, but we have the sensation that over and over again we get like the same apps, you know, how to park, how to the allergy app. So we decided to change it a little bit because we were getting the same answers all over and over again. So we're launching this spring our first civic hackathon, where technology is not required and you just have to be an engaged citizen to go there. It's very important if you want to foster a cultural change in your city, focus on kids. These guys, Zagales means children in Aragonese, which is the region where Zaragoza sits. These guys proposed to the city to make a Minecraft event. And they say, hey, we want to make it. Just give us the premises, the chairs, the table, the Wi-Fi. They did everything from the web page, they got funding, they sold t-shirts, they presented the event, they did the training, they did absolutely everything. And this is, and I'm already finishing, this is the tool, our technological platform that closes the circle. This is the citizen card. It's the all-in-one digital key to the city. It not only has access to 20 different services, from transport to Wi-Fi, to public libraries, to swimming pools. It's a huge amount of data. And it's something that we want to connect through civic hackathons to the people, to the scientific community, to the entrepreneurs, and to the techies, to get real solutions, like, for example, how would an epidemic propagate through the city, through the public transport system? These are the type of questions that we are going to ask with this type of tool and this type of hackathons. So we need to follow a stick and carrot policy, regulation, and incentives, because we want to make to turn cities into real innovation platforms. We're convinced the cities are the solution. We don't have to see them as a problem. Thank you very much, Parman, for your patience.
I would love to if we had more time. Really, it's so inspiring. Thank you. Amazing things you've done. Thank you so much.